welcome to this pre-recorded session on using LinkedIn to help you get started in your career. So in today's session, we'll be looking at getting started on LinkedIn, how you can develop a professional looking profile and build up a professional network within the area that you're interested in working in, and how you can use LinkedIn to help manage your career and take those first steps in looking for a job and developing that network. So some of you may already be aware what LinkedIn is and some of you may not. So first of all, LinkedIn is not just for experienced professionals. So it's not just for people who have been working and developing their career for a number of years. It's also really great for graduates and also for students in general to help them start thinking about their professional lives and how they might want to manage and develop their career. LinkedIn offers you the opportunity to network online by connecting with people, by engaging in posts and articles and discussions that might be taking place on the platform, as well as allowing you to develop an online CV that other people, including recruiters, can view. You can also use it to connect with alumni from your university and people you might know or might want to get to know across the industry that you're interested in working in. Over 46 million of LinkedIn's users are either students or recent graduates, showing that the platform really is for people of all ages and at all stages in their career. And over 78% of students who were surveyed by a company called Sybil said that they already use LinkedIn, which shows how important the platform is becoming for students or recent graduates, and it being definitely something that you don't want to miss out on. So now that we have an idea of what LinkedIn is, you might be thinking, okay, why is it useful or important for me to use as a graduate? Over 70% of employers will use social media to search for candidates during the selection process. So what this means is that recruiters and employers will try and look at the candidate's social media as they're going through the interview and recruitment process with them. And then similarly, 69% of employers will also search for the candidate's name online. And when employers do this, they're looking to see what comes up in association with that candidate's name. So whether that's anything to do with social media or perhaps anything else that that candidate has been involved with, and really to generate an idea or a picture of them based on what comes up about them online. 54% of employers decide not to hire someone based on their social media. So we can imagine perhaps if someone has photos or comments or conversations or content on their social media that an employer may not like the look of, it can have an effect on their hiring decision and they may choose not to go forward with that particular candidate. Then if we flip that around and look the other way, 57% of employers are less likely to interview a candidate they can't find online. So here we're kind of thinking about a balance between having a professional and appropriate online presence to make sure that employers can find us and can see that we are responsible and professional in our online demeanour. What's also really interesting is that the average time an employer will spend on a candidate's social media account is 5 to 10 minutes compared to just 8 to 10 seconds on a CV. So we can see that employers are really interested in learning more about a candidate based on their social media profiles to understand how suitable they might be for the job, but also perhaps how they might fit in at a particular company. Research suggests that when employers look at social media profiles, they are looking at different things based on the profile that they're looking at. So when an employer is looking at a candidate's Facebook profile, they may be looking to identify how that candidate would fit into the organisation and what their soft skills might look like. So by soft skills, we mean things like how a candidate may talk or write or relate to other people. When an employer looks at a candidate's LinkedIn profile, they may be looking to explore that candidate's professional attributes and how well they may fit into the job role itself. Top tips for using social media include getting to know your privacy settings, so thinking about who we want to be able to see what. If you have personal photos, perhaps of things like you on holiday or you with family and friends on your social media, you might want to check the privacy settings on these and have so that only people who follow you or you follow can see these rather than them being public. Also, think about what you want to share and who might see it, including avoiding anything that could be perceived as offensive. So it can be really easy to want to share our opinions about things, or maybe sometimes have a little bit of a rant on social media, but it's useful to think about how this might come across to people who don't know you before you post anything online and put it out there for the world to see. It's all about thinking about the impression that you're giving off to other people. So there's lots to consider here in relation to social media and making sure that your social media profiles and accounts give off the impression that you want them to give off. If you'd like more guidance on this, there is some help available to you on My Cumbria if you click on and follow the link displayed here. Okay, so in terms of getting started with LinkedIn, the first thing that you'll need to do is register for an account. You can follow the link here, or you can find it in your browser independently. You'll then want to develop your profile and start making connections, and then look at joining in the conversation that is taking place within your connections and networks. As you go about developing your LinkedIn profile, there are a few things that we can think about to help you make your profile as professional and engaging as possible. So once you've added your name to your profile, you can also add a headline underneath this. This is a great place to talk about the skills and the degree that you've studied and what type of opportunities you're looking for. So, for example, if you are a sports rehabilitation graduate, you could use this area to tell your network about your degree and what you've just graduated from and the type of opportunities that you're looking for. So a good headline here could be sports rehabilitation graduate looking for coaching opportunities. Or perhaps if you are a social science graduate, you may write something like psychology or perhaps criminology graduate looking for research opportunities. You would then want to make sure that you choose an appropriate photo. It's very common for people to use a headshot, so their head and shoulders where they're looking directly at the camera, in order to make clear what they look like and give off a professional image. Other people will use slightly different photos, perhaps of them taking part in an activity that says something about their personality. So, for example, this could be a sport that they're interested in or something similar. You then want to shout about your skills. What can you offer employers and recruiters, and what are you good at? So on your profile, you're able to add skills so that you can show people where your expertise lie. To do this, think about the things that you've enjoyed during your time at university and think about the skills that you've picked up along the way. Then think about what types of jobs or opportunities might you be interested in. So, for example, going back to our sports rehabilitation graduate, they may be interested in looking for coaching opportunities. So here you would then think about some of the things you've studied over the course of your degree and what type of skills these translate to. This could be knowledge of anatomy, knowledge of assessing pain, or knowledge of assessing different functional parts of the body as they are relevant to your degree. You might then want to think about joining some groups that are relevant to the profession or the industry that you're interested in. So, for example, if you are a business or marketing graduate, you may join groups related to this to see what other people in the industry are up to and the different types of conversations that they are having. These groups can be a great place to connect with other people, to chat over the different information and news that they're posting in the groups, and also sometimes just to sit back and observe and see what types of conversations and interactions are taking place. These groups are also great for connecting with people. Here I would recommend making sure that when you send a connection request to someone, just dropping a small message in there as well to make the request a little bit more personal. So, for example, if you're in a similar group, you could say that you enjoyed reading something that they posted there and you thought that it was particularly relevant for your industry, or you could say that perhaps they are in a job role that you're interested in getting into and you'd like to learn more from them by connecting. Again, think about the type of impression that you're giving off when you send these connection requests out, and make sure to maintain a professional image at all times. You can also connect with people that you've worked with in the past or people that you currently work with in order to help grow your network. You may find that these people know someone who you would like to get to know a little better, and so growing your network in this way can be really useful. And as I've just touched upon there, get involved in conversations, engage with posts that you see on your feed and in your network, and share your thoughts, again, making sure to do this in a professional manner. This can show your knowledge of the area or industry that you're interested in working in and can be a useful way to demonstrate the skills and the learning that you've picked up during your time at university. Another great feature from LinkedIn is the Alumni tool. You can access this as long as you put the University of Cumbria as your education on your profile. The Alumni tool has some great features, including allowing you to see what other graduates from your subject are up to and how they've been doing in their careers. So, for example, if you want to see what other graduates who study the same wildlife media course as you are doing now, you can enter this information into the Alumni search tool and view their profiles. You can also have a look at how other people with similar skills to you have put those skills to use. So maybe you have excellent marketing skills and want to see how you can use them in your career. You can select marketing in the skills filter and see the companies and job roles where you could put these skills to use. Now we'll take a look at searching for jobs as I mentioned earlier on. If you click on the jobs briefcase icon at the top of your LinkedIn profile, you'll be taken to this page, which has plenty of useful features for anyone who is looking for vacancies. So you can search for your job by title, skill or company in the search bar here, or you can search by location. You can also sign up for job alerts by clicking on the little bell shown here, and this alert will send you emails when a relevant job based on the criteria you enter becomes available. You can also bookmark jobs that you found on LinkedIn under the My Jobs heading, and you can also undertake skills assessments that will be shown on your profile to show how proficient you are in things like Microsoft Word or Excel or other types of packages. This can be a really good way of boosting your CV, particularly if you don't have lots of experience. It shows that you're proficient in some of the key packages that are important to employers today. So we'll go on to the next slide and take a look at what jobs vacancies look like once we've searched for them. As you can see here, I've inputted graphic design into the job search bar and just kept it quite broad as we're looking across the whole of the United Kingdom. We can see in the left-hand column here that the available graphic designer jobs advertised on LinkedIn have been pulled up, and we can see there's a range of different companies here, including things like Depop and Superdry. When you click on a vacancy, in the right-hand column, you'll see a little bit more detail about the company and what the vacancy involves. You'll also see on the connections section that any alum, so graduates and previous students of your university, are shown here too. This can be a great way to potentially connect or reach out to people who already work at the company you might be interested in, but again, be mindful of the information I gave before around sending a message along with your connection and being professional at all times. You can then filter along the second bar from the top here based on the date posted, the experience level, company and job type here. So if you want to switch out that experience level to graduate or beginner, you can easily do so. You can also search for specific companies there if there's one that you are particularly interested in working in. You'll also see that you're able to apply through LinkedIn for many of these job vacancies, which is really useful. This function will take information from your profile, which you are usually able to add to before you then apply for the job. This is why it's important to make sure that your profile is as organised and as full of useful and relevant information as it can be, as this can really save you time when it comes to applying for jobs. What you'll also find is when you apply for jobs through LinkedIn, you'll quite often see that the company then viewed your profile after you've applied. So again, it's a really good idea to make sure that your profile is in tip-top condition to allow yourself to stand a good chance of getting an interview. So I hope that this information on using LinkedIn to get started in your career has been useful to you. Remember that after you graduate from the University of Cumbria, you have access to My Career Enriched and the Careers and Employability Service for 3 years after graduation. So please do make the most of us, as we are very happy to help you with all your queries and questions that you might have as you enter the world of work. Please also feel free to get in touch with us via My Career Enriched. You can find it under the purple tile that's circled here on My Cumbria in your student hub. Thanks very much for watching.